I'm an avid mountaineer with a passion for exploring the wilderness. Today, my two close friends, Ryan and Eric, join me to conquer a famous mountain in the northern part of the United States. This mountain is renowned for its pristine beauty and the mysterious stories surrounding it. All three of us were eager to set out. This was bound to be a trip filled with joy and remarkable experiences. On the day of departure, the sky was clear, the breeze was gentle, and the air was cool. We set off early in the morning, chatting and laughing. Ryan, with his jovial and enthusiastic nature, regaled us with amusing stories, making the atmosphere light and enjoyable. Eric, though quieter, was equally excited, smiling and listening. "Did you know this mountain has many ghost stories?" I said as we walked along the trail. "What if we really encounter a ghost?" Ryan laughed and replied, "If we do, I'll be the first to run away." As we reached halfway up the trail, the sky suddenly darkened. Dark clouds gathered quickly, and the atmosphere grew heavy. The wind picked up, and rain began to fall. It seemed more severe than we had anticipated. The rain intensified, making the path up the mountain slippery and muddy. Landslides began to occur around us. "Quick! Find shelter!" I shouted over the wind and rain. Suddenly, a large section of the earth on the mountain gave way and descended towards us. We panicked and fled along the muddy path, clinging to large rocks to avoid slipping. The landslide roared down like a waterfall, and my heart felt like it had stopped. We tried to hide behind a large rock, with the rain and debris crashing around us like waves. I don't remember when I lost consciousness, but suddenly, I heard voices. "Are you okay? Are you still alive?" When I opened my eyes, I saw Ryan and Eric standing over me, trying to wake me. "Are you okay?" I asked, concerned. "We're fine, but it's dark now. We should set up camp and rest here for the night," Ryan said. Only then did I notice that it was dark, and continuing up the mountain in this weather was impossible. We found a flatter spot to set up a small tent to take shelter for the night. As night fell, the rain resumed. After setting up, we split up. Ryan and I went to gather firewood while Eric went to find some water. When we returned, I felt something strange. Eric was no longer his usual self. His face looked very gloomy, and his gaze was distant. I felt a shiver looking at him. "Eric, are you okay?" I asked with concern. "Yeah, I'm fine," he replied. But his voice was faint. I thought he was just exhausted from the day's events and didn't ask further, continuing to chat by the fire. However, I couldn't shake the eerie feeling inside me. That night was a restless one. I couldn't sleep, despite normally being an easy sleeper. It might have been due to the events of the day, making me feel anxious and uneasy. I glanced at Eric and Ryan, who were lying beside me, wondering if they were sleeping. I didn't dare wake them for fear of disturbing them. I lay awake all night, and finally, morning came. The storm had passed, but the sky was still overcast. We decided to descend the mountain because the trail up was too dangerous. On the way back, Ryan and I went ahead while Eric followed silently, not saying a word. This was very unlike his usual demeanor. We felt something was wrong. "What's wrong with Eric?" "Primera?" "Wand." What had happened to him while he was out fetching water the night before that had changed him so much? As I pondered this, Ryan suddenly stopped. His face turned pale as he grabbed the hem of my jacket, pulling me closer and pointing to a rock crevice nearby. Ryan whispered, "Look." I followed his gaze and felt my heart stop. There was a lifeless body, apparently dead for a long time. Ryan and I stood in shock, not understanding what was happening. If Eric had died, who had been with us last night and was now standing behind us, we slowly turned around, and the sight chilled us to the bone. Eric stood there, his face dark and his eyes lifeless. He said nothing, but his hands slowly rose, pointing in a different direction. A wave of terror ran down my spine as Eric silently pointed away. We looked and saw two more bodies lying together, those of Ryan and me. Both Ryan and I were stunned and horrified as we realized that we had died yesterday in the landslide. The events of the previous day replayed in my mind. The sounds of earth and rock collapsing, and the torrential rain all were playing like a nightmare I couldn't escape. "Please tell me this isn't real," I screamed, as fear and despair overwhelmed me. As Ryan and I looked back at Eric, a chilling realization dawned on us. Eric had discovered our bodies while fetching water the night before, and had returned with a strange demeanor, not because he was tired or bored, but because he knew we had all passed from this world.